So how were you feeling before the meeting?
I was feeling a little nervous, I have to admit. I was feeling maybe unsure about what my role was actually there, because I had two hats on, essentially. I had the hat on of the producer of this television production, but also the researcher hat, the person who's trying to think about what is it that's occurring here? You know, what is this process and this product? So it was very useful, I think, to have Mark direct the meeting, you know, in that sort of directorial way. It allowed me to sort of switch, I think, between those two roles. His input has been really important. Many months ago now, he sat down with me and we looked through the camera script for the very first Jazz 625 episode, Ellington in Concert. And he was just able to decode that language of BBC scripts in a way that it made the everyday work of those programmes suddenly something I understood in a much richer way. With James French, who's our camera supervisor, Charles Osborne, who's a lighting director, Tony Wass, who's looking after our sound, these are people that I'd corresponded with already, but I hadn't met before. There is a relationship that exists between Mark and all of these people from the past, from Pebble Mill. And so, in a sense, my job is to figure out how I fit within an already established network and how I can sort of effectively contribute to something that probably would work quite well on its own. At the moment, I still feel like I'm sitting and watching, and hopefully that will change as we get closer and closer. As I sort of learn more about how we're doing this, I hope I can sort of contribute more. So today is a very exciting day. After months of planning, we are having our first day in the studio here at Parkside at Birmingham, and we've got our core BBC crew who are taking our student crew through the processes of rigging. You can see the lights are down at the moment. We're also having training sessions happening around the cameras, around the sound, and I think this is a really crucial part of the process because our students are becoming familiar with the technology. For me as well, I'm learning a lot about the production process of the day before the musicians are even in the studio. Tomorrow we have the musicians in and we have the audience in, and that's when the music happens. So, an exciting day.
Back there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hi, my name's Oscar Cole. I'm a tenor saxophonist and I'm going to be performing here tomorrow at 4 with my quintet as part of Nicolas Pillai's project Jazz 1080. Oh, it was mad walking into the studio today to see all the kit and stuff set up, because I've been in here once before and it was completely empty. No one was in here, no equipment or anything. So to see the full setup and to be able to picture where the music, there were people standing, pretending to be us, so we could see exactly where everyone will be standing. It was just really exciting to actually see what's going to be the finished product for how it's going to look. It's been great working with Mark and to get all his insights into, the amount of knowledge that he's been, giving off, A, towards us and B, towards the students and everything. It's just been incredible. He's got such a profound insight in how everything works, and you just know with someone like Mark that it's going to run smoothly because he's got everything sorted and everything prepped.
The job of today was to try and sort out all the nuts and bolts of it to make sure that first of all we knew where the band were going to be positioned. The classic being we had the piano facing one way, and when the musician arrived he faced it the other way. Also the one number I scripted ended up being with one sax rather than with two, but that's exactly the sort of things you expect to happen on a day like today. Students have been really good today, having an experience, not only an experienced cameraman but also a training cameraman has been really useful. They had a little bit of a tuition last week, but they have been really receptive and are trying to do well. Some are doing better than others, but there's all the time in the world tomorrow to try and resolve any sort of issues. The others have been both on sound and up in the gallery as well, doing vision and so forth, been really supportive, and so really encouraging to do.
Are you having fun?
I always have fun when I'm doing it, even when it goes wrong. What I learned a long time ago was if you keep your cool, because usually whatever is done, piano facing the wrong way, just turn it round, sort it out. No point in worrying about it. The issue is to get it done in time. And if it's a live programme, you do it, and if you've got a wrong shot, so be it, it's gone.
So, it's Tuesday the 22nd of May, we're finally here. Today we're shooting Jazz 1080 and it's been a really exciting day. We've had the full crew in, we've had all the musicians in, we've got the presenter in, and what we've been doing really has been running through each of the numbers, trying to figure out from the position of the crew exactly how the musicians are going to play, what they're going to play. That's been a constant negotiation through the day, and it's been really nice to see the kind of strategies that the crew are using to work with the music. It's really still hard for me to believe that we're going to have an audience in this afternoon and we're going to shoot it, but that's a really exciting prospect, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it happening now. So Mark, we've just finished the recording.
Yeah.
How did you feel it went?
Very well. First thing to say is the students really upped their game. As far as the programme goes, I think I was really pleased with it. I mean, obviously it's got a few rough edges. Part of that's because it's live and the whole point was we weren't going to repeat it. But we had the contingencies of making sure, and we always had a wide shot.
It did feel as though there's an element of improvisation upstairs.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, with jazz, it's improvised anyway, so the improvisation has to be upstairs. It's actually probably better to have it relatively improvised so that you actually do it.
What do you think the students will get from this experience?
This chap is absolutely amazing. Oh. This is Tony, the sound supervisor. And he's always the most important link in the chain, but probably the least appreciated. But without the sound, you have absolutely nothing. So, Tony, you've done a great job today.
Thank you.
Last question. What will the students have got out of this multi-camera experience?
I would have thought what I would describe as professional discipline, in that in the actual rehearsal time or in the recording time, the director is king. I.e., if the director says something, you do it straight. You don't argue with it. If you've got a problem, you explain your problem, but actually keep the director having the shots that he wants. It's that sort of professional discipline that I hope we've instilled today, which perhaps might not have been in a student environment, and hopefully showing that all those disciplines have to knit together to actually make it all work at the right time for the recording. Okay.